If you're a small business owner, you were promised that content marketing was going to get way easier when AI came out. All you'd have to do was use ChatGPT to write content, post it online, and wait for the clients to roll in. Just one sticky problem though. Everyone else had ChatGPT too. And it's making it too easy for content creators, marketers, and business owners to create crappy content and flood the internet with it. So if you're still relying on ChatGPT to handle your content marketing, you're way behind and there's no reason for people to come back to your content or to your business. But it's not all bad news. There's one way to use all of this to your business's advantage. In this video, we're gonna talk about how AI is collapsing the content creation landscape, why it can hurt your business, and how you can use AI and the right kind of content to become the client attraction king of your niche. So, how did we get into this content mess to begin with? Let's rewind back to 2010. I remember stumbling upon the book Inbound Marketing and feeling like I had just struck gold. The idea was pretty simple, create a ton of blog posts, rank high on Google, and just watch the leads roll in all on their own. It seemed pretty perfect, but there was a really big catch. Creating quality content was really time consuming. Not every business had the resources to have a team of writers that are just churning out articles day and night. It was really a game of who had the most patience and the deepest pockets. Fast forward to November 2022. So ChatGPT burst onto the scene with all the energy of the Kool-Aid man at a funeral, and suddenly AI writing assistants were everywhere, promising to solve all of our content problems, and marketing gurus were shouting from the rooftops, use AI, crank out content, dominate your competition. It sounded too good to be true, and guess what? It was. Here's what happened. People got lazy. They started relying on AI to do all the heavy lifting. So they'd ask ChatGPT to write entire articles, barely giving them a once-over before hitting publish. What we wound up with was a sea of AI-generated fluff. The internet is busting with articles, videos, and social media posts that all sound the same. They're just regurgitating the same old ideas, and people are getting sick of it. So what does this mean for businesses? Well, if you've been relying on educational blog posts to help you bring in new clients, you might be in for a rough ride. That old create content, rank on Google, get clients playbook, it's starting to fall apart. And AI isn't just messing up one kind of content, it's leaving its robotic fingerprints all over the internet. First up, and most notably, blogs, right? They've definitely taken the biggest hit. AI is churning out articles faster than ever, and the problem is they all sound the same. They tend to overuse the same word choices over and over again. In fact, there's a really funny post that shows how much the word delve has increased in usage in medical papers since ChatGPT latched onto it. But it's more than just simple word choices, right? These AI-written blogs, they lack the personal touch, the experiences, and those expert insights that make you go, I never thought of it like that. It's all just blah. But what about videos? They don't get a pass here. They're to blame for this mess too. We're talking everything from AI-generated scripts, voiceovers. You can even get an AI avatar of yourself. This is mine, what do you think? Whenever I click on one of those videos, they're not hard to spot in the first few seconds that they're pretty obviously AI-generated, and I just go back and look for something else pretty much immediately. AI videos just don't have the human spark, that authentic connection that makes you want to keep watching. Instead, they're pretty much just hollow shells made to game the system and rake in that sweet, sweet ad revenue. And then there's social media. So AI is pretty much flooding our feeds with generic posts that are about as riveting as a rerun on the Weather Channel. You know those inspirational quotes that sound like they came from a fortune cookie factory? Yep, that's AI hard at work for you. So let's talk about the first big problem with AI-made content, which is falling into the commodity content trap. AI is pumping out tons of content really fast, but here's the thing. Just because there's a lot of it doesn't mean it's any good. This AI stuff is missing some really important things. A unique point of view, expert opinions, and real life experiences. So what we end up with is a bunch of content that all sounds the same and doesn't really grab anyone's attention. It's like being stuck in a time loop where every day is exactly like the last. Groundhog Day, but make it digital. Here's why that's a problem. So if a brand keeps making this kind of basic generic content, they start to look just like everyone else. They lose what makes them special. Think about generic content like getting a burger from any drive-thru restaurant. It satisfies your craving for immediate information, but once you're done with it, you'll never think about it again. Good content, on the other hand, is like a fun meal at a cool restaurant with your friends. It not only answers your questions, but it's memorable and it makes you want to come back for more. Because when you keep making content that could have come from literally anywhere, you're missing chances to show off what makes your brand better than your competition. You know, your unique voice, your expert knowledge, all that good stuff gets lost. But there's another problem. Google's AI search is shaking up SEO. Remember when we used to Google something and click through to a website to get our answer? Well, those days might be numbered because Google's getting smarter. They're now using AI to answer searches directly on the results page. Sounds convenient, right? But here's the catch. It's making life really tough for both AI-generated and human-written blog posts. Take NerdWallet, for example. This financial advice powerhouse recently reported that their organic traffic dropped by 15 to 18% in just one quarter. That's a significant hit, and it's not just them. It's happening to many businesses that rely on search traffic. This is turning the whole SEO game on its head. Those how-to articles and ultimate guides that businesses used to use to attract visitors, they're losing their punch because people aren't finding them nearly as often as before. You know, think about it. If you can get a quick answer right from Google, why would you ever click through to an article? And if you want more in-depth info, you might just go straight to a video or a podcast where you can hear from a real expert. Because in the AI era, trust is the new SEO. And my recommendations for how to actually still be able to use AI content to build massive amounts of trust to get new clients, it's coming up in a few minutes. But first, let's talk about the robot elephant in the room. People just don't like AI-generated content. You know how we all have that one family member who always tells the same boring stories? Well, that's how people pretty much feel about generic AI content. They're over it, and here's why that's a big deal. Engagement rates for this stuff are in the basement. People aren't clicking, they're not sticking around, and they're definitely not coming back for more. For businesses, that means fewer leads and fewer sales. But it gets even worse. Trust takes years to build and seconds to break, and generic content is like a wrecking ball for trust. When people read something that sounds like it could have been written by anyone or anything, they're not thinking, wow, these guys really know their stuff. What they are thinking is, meh, I could have gotten this information anywhere. So let's cut to the chase. AI-generated content just isn't gonna cut it anymore. Your customers, they're not buying it. They want the real deal. They're craving authenticity, which is why they were already flocking to video over written content even before the AI boom. ChatGPT just accelerated that shift. TikTok's becoming the main search engine for Gen Z, and YouTube? It's the second biggest search engine right after Google. People want to see faces, hear voices, and get real advice from real people. You know that old phrase, content is king? Well, content's become all too common, so quality's the king now. But here's the million-dollar question. How can you make quality content and still use AI to do it fast and do more of it? So the answer is to lean away from commodity content and into personality-led content. And since people trust content that they can see and hear more than just reading words on a page, we're talking about concentrating on trust-building content formats like podcasts and videos. Let's break it down. First up, let's talk podcasts. Now, I'll be honest, podcasts can be tricky because the podcast apps don't really do much to help new listeners find you. It's not like YouTube where the algorithm is going to suggest your stuff to new audiences. But here's a pro tip. Make it a video podcast and put it on YouTube. It's honestly the only way I'd recommend doing a podcast these days. And YouTube is really making big strides at becoming the #1 podcast app out there, so it can really work out. And this approach combines that intimacy of audio with the discoverability of video. And speaking of video, short form videos like those 30-second TikToks or Instagram Reels, Those are great for getting eyeballs on your content. They're absolutely perfect when you're just starting out. But there's a catch to it. These benefits can be pretty shallow, right? Someone might watch you for 30 seconds and then poof, they're gone, probably never to return. And that's not great if you're trying to actually generate clients, right? Now, long form videos, that's where the magic happens. I'm talking 5 minutes or more. These guys are fantastic for building that know, love, and trust factor. They give you time to really showcase your personality and your expertise. And if you're doing that video podcast thing that I mentioned earlier, that falls right into this category. So if you're asking for my advice and you're watching this video, so I'm gonna assume you are, I would say to concentrate on those longer videos. So when you show up on camera, you're giving your audience a chance to really connect with you as a person, right? They're not just reading words, they're hearing your voice, they're seeing your face, getting a feel for who you really are. So while everyone else is churning out AI written blog posts, you'll be building a loyal following who feels like they actually know you. That's how you stand out. But okay, how the heck do you actually do that? Trust me, it's simpler than you might think. Here's a secret sauce. Just take simple information and your teaching points and wrap them in your own stories. That's it, that's the magic formula. And the cool thing is, you can actually use AI to help you with those basic facts and points. But the stories, those gotta come from you. And when I say stories, I mean your own experiences, your clients' experiences, analogies, your best advice and your opinions. It's your stories and your unique way of delivering them that's gonna transform those AI-generated talking points into authentic, thought leader level content. And here's the best part, you don't need to be some larger than life personality to pull this off. Being personality led doesn't mean you need to be the class clown or the life of the party. It just means being authentically you. And I know that sounds like a cliche, but just the fact that you're a real person sharing real experiences, that's 85% of the battle won right there. Now, if you happen to be extra fun or quirky, that's great. That's the cherry on top. Jamie Wolfer is a wedding planner doing really amazing things on YouTube right now, and she's definitely big on personality, and she uses it to her advantage. But if that's not you, don't even worry about it. You know, there are plenty of popular YouTubers who are just calm and straightforward. Take Anna Hickman or Ben Kaluza, for example. They're killing it too without any over-the-top antics. Remember, people are coming to your content for information first and foremost, but it's your deep experience and opinions that's gonna make that knowledge stick. Think of it this way. AI can do about 60 to 70% of the heavy lifting, giving you the basic framework. But that extra 30%, that's all you, baby. Your stories, your case studies, your analogies. That's what's gonna make your content really shine. Just look at YouTubers like Matt Diggity or Letitia Stiles. These are business owners who've nailed it. They take their expertise and they sprinkle in their personality and their unique perspectives. Their content isn't just informative, it's really engaging and relatable too. So, will AI eventually catch up and mess up personality-led content too? Look, AI is getting better every day, no doubt about it, but it's never walked out into the world or learned a lesson the hard way or carried a client to victory. In other words, AI can't replace you, your experiences, or your unique way of connecting with your audience. It can simulate those things, but it'll never bring any new insights to the table. And sure, we might get to a point where AI can create talking head videos that look and sound just like you, but here's the thing. That tech, when it comes around, it's probably not gonna be cheap, and it's gonna take a really long time to render, probably longer than it'd take to just record yourself for real. And that's fine for talking head videos, but let's say you're trying to show someone how to properly clean a window or groom a dog. AI is gonna have a really tough time getting all those little details right. Plus, YouTube's not messing around. They're requiring creators to disclose if their videos are AI generated. So your audience will always know what's real and what's not, and they want real, now and in the future. That ain't changing. They want to watch real people with real life experiences, sharing hard-won advice and opinions. There's just something about a real person on camera that AI can't replicate. So yeah, AI is gonna keep improving, but your real self going on camera, sharing your unique experiences and perspectives, that's something special. That's something that AI can't touch. Now, if you want an actual start to finish roadmap on how you can use AI to help you create the right kinds of YouTube videos that'll work for you for years to come, that'll get you more leads and paying clients, saving you a seat in my brand new free on-demand masterclass where I'm gonna show you my complete strategy and workflow. So click right here. I cannot wait to share this stuff with you. It's really powerful. See you there.